Hi everyone, today we are discussing graphing a line using a table of values. So let's first talk about the steps. First, we need to isolate the variable. In other words, we need to solve for y or put our equation in slope-intercept form. Remember that f of x is the same as y. Second, we need to make a t-table, in other words, a table of values. If the domain or x values is not given for your table, then pick your own values. And third, plot the points on a graph and connect to draw a line. So for example 1, we'd like to graph negative 2x plus y equals 4. And we're going to use the domain, or our x values, as negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. So our first step is to solve for y. Now we've done this before, so we know our first step is to add 2x to both sides, and that gives me y equals 2x plus 4. For our second step, we need to make a table of values for our given domain values that form ordered pairs. So we're making a table of x's and y's. So x is the domain values that we were given, and y equals 2x plus 4 is the equation that will give us our y values, which leads to our ordered pairs. So the first thing we're going to do is plug our x value into our equation, where you find the x. So you can see here that we plugged negative 2 in where the x exists in the equation. So we have 2 times negative 2 plus 4. And when we solve that, we get 0, because negative 4 plus 4 is 0. And that gives us the ordered pair of the xy coordinates of negative 2 and 0. We do it again for the negative 1 value. So here we plug negative 1 into x, so we have 2 times negative 1 plus 4, and that gives us a value of 2, because negative 2 plus 4 equals 2. So our ordered pair of our xy values is negative 1 and 2. And we just repeat this process for every value in our domain. And now we have a list of points that we can use to graph. So using our ordered pairs from the prior slide, we take and we graph each ordered pair. Negative 2, 0, negative 1, 2, 0, 4, 1, 6, and 2, 8. And last but not least, we draw a line to connect the points. If all of the points are in the straight line, then that means our point values are correct. But if one was not on the straight line, it means that we made a mistake and we need to go back and see what its value should be. So let's try another example. This time we need to graph x minus 3y equals 6. And here we'll use the domain of negative 6, negative 2, 0, 3, and 6. So the first thing we need to do is solve for y. We want to subtract x from both sides, leaving us with negative 3y equals negative x plus 6. Then we will divide each term by negative 3. And we end up with y is equal to 1/3 x minus 2. Be very careful when you're evaluating this slope here. Remember, there is really a 1 in front of the x, so negative 1 divided by negative 3 is where the positive 1/3 exists. And now we're going to use that equation and make a table. Notice that now we have the set of domain values given to us for example 2. So we're going to plug negative 6 in where x is. Now be very careful, because this 1/3 needs to be placed in parentheses so that the values will work out correctly when you put it in the calculator. So 1/3 in parentheses times the -6 in parentheses minus 2. 1/3 times -6 is -2, minus another 2 is -4, and that gives us the ordered pair of -6, -4. You can use a calculator, or you could even use Desmos to get your values. So once again, we will plug in -2 this time in for x. 1/3 times quantity of -2 minus 2 is -2.66. This time it's not a whole number or a finite decimal. So our ordered pair is -2 and -2.66. You could round to one decimal place if you wanted. And then we just repeat this process all the way down. But notice, if we would like to eliminate decimals in our answer, meaning I would like a whole number, then I should pick values that are divisible by 3. Okay, that is because we are multiplying by 1/3. So if I choose a number divisible by 3, then I get a whole number. 6 is divisible by 3, we ended up with -4. 3 is divisible by 3, I ended up with -1. So I take those ordered pairs, I come over here and graph, and here is my graph, and you can see that all the points do line up into a nice straight line. So here's one that you can try on your own. If you'd like, stop the video, and then you can come back and check. Okay, so here we are solving for y. So we're graphing 4 minus y equals x, and you should have y equals -x plus 4. We are then going to make a table of our values here. So our domain values are right here on the left. Our equation is up at the top. We plug in. Be very careful because you have the negative in front of the x. So it's the negative times the -2, okay, or -1 times -2. Okay, and negative times negative is positive, so 2 plus 4 equals 6. And that's where our ordered pair of -2, 6 comes from. So once again, negative of a -1 means change the sign to positive, so 1 plus 4 is 5. That gives us an ordered pair of -1, 5, and it repeats for the remaining values. And then once we have them, we simply plot our ordered pairs, and we get a nice straight line.